Hello, everyone. Welcome to BrainStorm with Brian Sturm. I am a gamer, a game designer, and I've also been a game tester. The purpose of these videos is to go through. Sometimes I'm going to be a gamer, and if I can, I will show off things from the industry, maybe level design, maybe talk about concepts or theories, or just share my personal experiences with you. And you can take away what you want from it. I'm not going to try to be too serious. I'm not going to try to provide a real education. Um, but when I think of something to tell you that's related to the industry, I'll let you know. All right, so this is Bioshock Infinite. Fantastic game, and we're going to go ahead and proceed. My first disclaimer, I did already make one video as I was playing the game for the very first time, and I noticed how much I was getting distracted by the game being wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and do a second take, and then I guess what I'll do is I'll make it available, my first playthrough, where I keep on getting interrupted halfway through a sentence because of how amazing it is. Okay, so here we are, and right off the bat you want to notice that what a different feeling they want to give players initially, artistically and atmosphere-wise, from the other Bioshock games. The lightness, the colors, all of that kind of open feeling, the fact that it's not dead, everything's dead. You see, it's already a live world with people in it doing everyday things. So instead of you coming into a post-apocalyptic kind of scenario, you're kind of dropping into a society that supposedly is in the middle of its heyday, or maybe right at its tipping point, and you're the catalyst to maybe make the whole society fall apart. So that's kind of their first. They're already affecting your perceptions of this game. Just poking through the options here, you notice they just don't go straight to a menu. You go into a nice inside the fourth wall kind of menu. And once again, they have a wonderful budget, so they can take the time to make sure everything's still within the theme of the game. Nice little art for the UI. Now you can, when you're thinking about both the art department, the UI department, and the game design department coming together and making sure your experience is what they wanted it to be, think about that if you ever want to poke through these option menus and put on your game industry hat. Why did they choose to have art subtitles defaulted off, yet enemy health bars on? It's pretty important to most game players to know about the enemy health bars, and yet it is take you out of the moment and makes you aware that you're playing a game a little bit more. Same thing with highlight searchable objects. If you had it off, supposedly you would be in a much more realistic, real-world scenario. But for your average role player, this is a role-playing game. For your average role player, that's not going to be a desirable thing. Same thing. They decided now for the average American, floating combat text above the enemies as you're damaging them is not going to be desirable. You don't want that Final Fantasy thing because it's not that much of a cerebral kind of game. Anyway, so and you notice the audio guys are doing their job. So you feel like you're outside now because of the reverb and how they decided to EQ the music there. All right, so we're going to do a new game. And that's a shame, but yes, I will do that. And now I am rather proud of myself on the other playthrough that I did. The guesses I made about the storyline, I was pretty proud of some of the things I could guess at.
Booker, are you afraid of God?
No. But I'm afraid of you.
Notice the font choice they chose there.
Are
It's a
you
smart
going
call.
to just sit there?
As compared to what? Standing?
Not standing, rowing.
Rowing? Hadn't planned on it.
So you expect me to shoulder
What's
the
this?
burden?
No. But I do expect you to do all the rowing.
And why is that?
Coming here was your idea.
My idea.
I've made it very clear that I don't believe in the exercise.
The rowing.
No. Imagine that's wonderful exercise.
Then what?
The entire thought experiment.
Excuse me. How much longer?
One goes into an experiment knowing one could fail.
But one does not undertake an experiment knowing one has failed.
Can we get back to the rowing?
I suggest you do, or we're
No,
never
Bert.
going to get there.
No, I mean I'd greatly appreciate it if you would assist.
Perhaps you should ask him. I imagine he has a greater interest in getting there than I do.
I suppose he does, but there's no point in asking.
Why not?
Because he doesn't row.
He doesn't row.
No, he doesn't row.
Ah, I see what you mean.
I love these characters from the beginning. And it was pretty obvious they were too ingenious and too interesting at the very beginning. Now, art type people will notice that, they wanted to make sure that you'd notice the lighthouse.
Shall we tell him when we'll be returning?
Would that change anything?
It might give him some comfort.
Well, at least that's something we can agree on.
Hey! Is somebody meeting me here?
I'd certainly hope so.
It does seem like a dreadful place to be stranded.
Well, maybe there's someone inside.
So, as you're approaching, if you notice, there was a couple of lens flares that they pointedly wanted to draw your attention to that. There's a little bit of ominous yet intellectual. They wanted to establish a little bit of a cerebral part of the game. Classic RPG, they want you to be rewarded with material objects by finding things off to the side, letting you know that you're going to be getting health from these kind of things. And there's ways to get your health back up, and also that there's a monetary you want to try and get those things going on. Also, if you think about it from a level design standpoint, also this is a A/B option. You don't have much, and also whenever someone reaches a barrier, we're getting to the point. A lot of gamers, when they are playing role-playing games, and they go, "Oh, well, here's a door. Let me explore every single thing before the door, because you never know if there's combat or there's some kind of story event on the other side. I'm going to miss out on my loot." So, do it. Bring us a girl and wipe away the debt. This is your last chance. So they bring their recurring theme that sends over and over again, and you see a little bit of tension that they bring with the blood splatter.
Excuse me. It's Booker DeWitt. I guess you're expecting me?
And they start up with their also kind of creepy religious theme. This is funny. I didn't see this the first time I played through because I had the game too dark.
Good luck with that, pal.
So they're already establishing how the main character right there is a little bit grim. You got your Malcolm Reynolds of Firefly, where he doesn't really subscribe to the religious saving of himself just through some kind of act of, washing himself or whatever. Anybody who knows what Sodom is, you're already starting to see a little bit of tension. So as you start to go up levels of the game, the tension will get ratcheted and ratcheted. You start off with this maybe nice themes from a religion, and then as it goes on, darker and darker themes from religion.
Is anyone here? Hello?
And now you start to get interested as What's going on? Are they talking about me? Be prepared, he's coming. In my first playthrough, I actually kind of bitched because I was wondering how in 1910, 1912, they're going to have a phone line that goes to under the water to the coast of Maine. But, little knickknacks. I never found out why you can use a sink throughout the entire game. It intrigues me. Once again, they're reinforcing the role-playing thing where you can get stuff if you look around in the right places. Okay, moving on. In a way, also, they're focusing your attention on simple. You might not have reached that cabinet, but as you go around, you would have maybe come back here to look for something and would have gotten something from the cabinet. Increasing the tension, and then increasing the tension, and then shock value. Bam.
Shit.
You see a little torture scene. You got your Reservoir Dogs kind of thing going on here. For people of the older generation, that's kind of cool, the clicking talk. And, you know, your grandma, kind of creepy. And real simple level design here. They just want you to see this and then move on, you know? Like, wow. And so you're still emotionally creeped out by that. And so you have all this tension, then you have the shock violence, and you don't know what you're going to expect up here. Maybe more, you know, maybe kind of a lot more real powerful, violent imagery. Nothing. Kind of denied, so you keep on going. And you come up, and you actually have this beautiful, majestic kind of thing going on with this wonderful light that shines into your eye. Look at that. Fantastic.
Wait a minute, that card.
Now, there's not much purpose to this to me in a game design kind of standpoint. I purposely in my other playthrough did the wrong combination. Sure enough, the wrong combination doesn't make the sequence proceed. But I do want to point out for people who are too young to know, there's a kind of neat movie called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Some aliens show up on Earth and they communicate through music or through sound. Very powerful. This is a little bit of a homage to that.
What in the world is...
Like they expect me to sit in their fancy chair.
Even the choice to have those kind of metal razor holes and stuff like that is, you know, tension. Once again, tension again.
What the hell? Yeah, go!
Make yourself ready, Pilgrim. The bindings are there as a safeguard.
No, God Damn it!
Attention. Attention in the count of 5. Count of 4.
No.
3, 2, 1.
No!
Attention. Attention.
Booker, just stay calm.
5,000 feet. 10,000 feet. 15,000 feet. Hallelujah.
So they have a great little moment. Obviously, the audio choosing to do on purpose repeated and creepy up and down pitches. And then the shock value of hearing him going 10,000 feet up. That's kind of for the analytical kind of people to kind of get them excited. And then you have this big theme change. And a nice little kind of ominous thing going on there. But so you have this big theme change from dark and blue to white and yellow, as far as colors and depending on what part of the country in the United States you are from, whether this is a placid moment or whether this is kind of actually creepily cultish to you. And you have this, of course, you have a nice descent into the red hell if you want to look at the color schemes again. And you have a descent possibly into the grave, into your coffin. And then, even if you're not a person who's been around religious or been around churches, you can kind of see this stained glass art. And at least you've been exposed to maybe like communistic art. So you can see maybe the brainwashing that they're trying to establish here for the culture. Now, on a technical level, my character just spawned in. So all of that was basically one big long sequence where there was no character, there was nothing for actual game interaction. And actually, we're at the 17-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and